Hi. I'm in the room today, in this new week. Yeah, I had a little incident this morning, a fear fit. Now I'm thinking to myself how best to cope with it. I mean, I could make a little video or a list of all the things that scare me, whether they're honest to God fears or Asperger thingies. I don't know. But I've been in here reading my book that I got this weekend. My coffee in here. Took a little nap for a while. It was about noon that it happened, and so that was, and then I laid down and whatnot. Yeah, haircut. You see it? Everybody? One person? Yeah. Been trying to fix it, but the lighting in here makes my hair look really funny, but yeah. We have a really boring room, but I like it that way. It's just cluttered. We've been here for so long, and it's still a cluttered bedroom. Not a good thing. So, yeah. I can tell, somewhat jokingly, that the child upstairs seems to be packing on the pounds. He's stomping heavier. Well, he's running. And the fact that he's so young, he doesn't know how to properly run by bounding off of his toes. So he's just sort of moving his legs really fast. And as people do learn to walk, you have to balance on your heels. That wasn't necessarily a problem for me. I toe walk. So, yeah. So yeah, my book is the Jaina book. I went over to the bookstore and bought it. And that, yeah. It's getting kind of interesting. I'd never actually read one of these books before, but considering this was about one of my favorite NPCs, and it has glowing reviews from podcasters that do stuff about World of Warcraft, it seemed appropriate. So, yeah, not really much more. We went out and did our stuff at the weekend. I mean, we paid bills and paid off a good chunk of bills, because if we told many people that the bills had slipped for a little while, or we were close to, shut-off notices, but since I did get a good chunk of money, I just went and paid those off so I didn't have to deal with anybody's judging eyes or rolling of the eyes or exasperated sighs of disappointment. Yeah. So, that's that. We did not go into town this weekend. By the time the boyfriend woke up on Saturday, I was like, okay, because I was like, well, maybe we can get the car fixed. Go get a battery. And I thought maybe his dad will come down, but, and so I thought maybe if his dad comes down around 5, 6 o'clock, then we have a little bit of time to hop the train into town. No, his dad was here at like noon. And then by the time all that happened, well, we are having a lot of rain. It's good. We need a lot of rain. Some of our streams still don't look like they've bounded back too terribly well. We had 80 days without rain. Yeah. So, we're back into normal erratic weather, not static good weather. Static good weather is not good for around here. So, what else did we do? Oh, wound up picking up some new body wash and stuff that requires cash, not food stamps. And since we had a little bit of extra money, and it had been bugging me ever since I've been shopping at Freddy's. Um, um, they have a fancy cheese refrigerated bar thing, and I'd seen the Parmesan Romano or the Pecorino Romano in there, and they are actually imported from Italy. They have a DOC on them and all. So we got the Pecorino Romano because, I mean, Parmesan is Parmesan. It's probably not going to be too terribly much different tasting. I mean, I know it's Pecorino, not Parmesan, but, you know, besides, Parmesan Romano that they have is a cow cheese. This one's a sheep cheese. And Lord, what did they have for a sample? They had a sample of cheese, kind of a soft cheese. It wasn't whiny goat. It was something else. But it was one of those that we were like, this is kind of, wow, that's good. And then you took a second, and then we swung by and I took a second sample and it was like, yeah, I don't know why I thought, oh, there it is. It was one of those that had a weird middle and aftertaste that was really good. Cannot remember the name of it. It was so good, I forgot. So, yeah, presidential debate's happening tonight. I don't know how many of you are going to watch it. So, I watch them. Might have a meltdown or something because my brain has this idea of can't we all just get along, and the smart part of my brain says no, people are inherently too dumb to get along. Or something like that. Anyways, there seems to be some color differentiations happening underneath my door. So I'm thinking, but it might just be one of the cats walking around. So sorry. Yeah, now that the rain's been happening, there should be some dust cleared out of the air. I should be getting a little bit better. I mean, I've got my inhalers and stuff that are for asthma stuff, but who knows? I mean, I show you the room, but it's really boring. That's my old laptop. That's my coffee cup. That's my book. That's my pills. That's that. I mean, we got nothing going on. It's a boring room. I'd show you the boyfriend's computer, but I don't know. There's really nothing to it. It's a black monitor with a black case with, blue fans. Anyways. So yeah. We've been flicking a lighter here. But yeah, I got my hair cut. Apparently the Great Clips that we go to doesn't do coloring. Otherwise I could have gotten highlights. So I'm thinking of running by a Sally's and having my friend do it with a cap and stuff. So that could work. I've got to get a hold of my mom. See when she wants me to go mow. But every time I have this idea of calling her and setting that up, I want to cry again. Because I made a promise, and when I break that promise by a couple days or even a week, I feel bad in and of itself because I broke a promise that I wasn't able to get there and mow their lawn because our car was broke. But she doesn't let it go. So she will remind me while I'm there that if only I had come sooner, the grass wouldn't have been this long. And, well, this isn't a really good time. Back when we scheduled it, it was a good time. And she just sort of keeps bringing it up over and over and over. And it just sort of drives the knife home that I already stuck in myself. Because she's dwelling on the fact that, whatever. I have to relook up the term victimization. Because it feels like there's a lot of people around me that are doing it. That they're not necessarily trying against the world. Well, there was a little whatever. There was a description I heard. You get an atheist, a Baptist, a Hindu, and a Catholic, and you put them in their own separate rooms. And they have one light hanging from a cord. The light bulb burns out. Well, they're looking on the atheist, and he says, well, that was to be expected. And he changes the light bulb. And the Hindu guy, he looks up and says, all things in balance, and changes the light bulb. And the Baptist just hollers at the top of his lungs, about the change, praise the change, and the Lord has sent his message. And changes the light bulb. The Catholic sits there and bemoans, why has the light forsaken them? For hours and days, instead of changing the light bulb. Because rather than change the light bulb, they'd rather bemoan, but they'd rather complain. They'd rather beseech the darkness. They'd rather live in darkness and complain about it, actually, do something about it. And the fact that it was raised Catholic tends to do a lot of that. I tend to sit here and complain about a lot of things and not do anything about them. And it may seem like that on my blog, but I'm not. I actually go and do things. I mean, I may complain as they're happening, but it doesn't mean I don't have a plan for it. Whereas some people around me, mom, sometimes the boyfriend, more occasionally the roommate, tend to feel that, their life is the way it is, and everything that happens to them is what must happen, and there's nothing they can do about it. And if you'd known my life story sort of thing, you'd know that it's like, oh, well, he's on disability now. Looks like he just sort of rolled over. No, I got a job when I was 18. Yeah. When I was in 99, I got a job. And I held it for a little while. And then I had a major meltdown. And they really didn't want me around anymore. And then I worked at Toys R Us for a little while. And it wasn't that I had a meltdown there, it was that I was gullible. And I got scammed, and my till was short $2,000 because of a quick artist guide. And I was stupid. I didn't know what to do. That never happened for the 2 years of Taco Bell, so what was I supposed to do at Toys R Us? But got canned from that because, that is a fair bit of money, even for Toys R Us. And then, I'd had multiple jobs, and I was still trying to get jobs. And then the economy took a turn, but it shouldn't have been that hard to find a job. There were people that were less qualified than me, and they were getting jobs. So obviously I was doing something wrong in interviews, if I even got one. But even if I could get a job, I wasn't able to hold on to it. So, because eventually something would happen, and I'd have a meltdown in the middle of my job. Now, if you know anything about Asperger people, you don't want to have a meltdown in public. No, you don't. Especially when they're big ones. You can kind of get what some people call the quiet meltdowns, where the person just sort of like shuts down and they kind of have to go to their own little happy place. But you do kind of want to get them out as fast as possible because that means it's slightly controlled, but it could get out of hand really fast. Yeah, I'm going to switch hands. Boyfriend's special walking stick thing. I know the light's acting a little different because I was facing the light. Now I'm against it, but I was getting tired. So, I mean, maybe I can just do this, and you can see how lovely my ceiling is and how dark my face can get. But, yeah, that's pretty much that. It's a really long blog. I really needed to just sort of talk, is what it is. Like I said, some days there are ones that are like, 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. The average length is like 7. Today is, well, already over 15. Anyways, yeah. So I'm going to be getting myself composed. I don't necessarily want to face the roommate in a itchy, scritchy kind of mindset. I need to build fortitude, because I do want to watch the presidential debate, and I don't want to watch it on my phone, streamed through YouTube or something. God bless YouTube. My phone has a tiny screen. It's nothing on YouTube. It's a phone, for Christ's sake. It's not supposed to be a portable computer, even though it is. I can't get that through my parents' head. They're like, oh, well, you're doing all this stuff on your phone. I'm like, it's not. It is a mobile computer with a phone accessory. And they just aren't getting it, because you buy them from phone companies. I'm like, I'm sorry, we bought, a laptop with a phone accessory. It's technically a tablet because of the touch screen and whatnot, but I mean, I do more stuff on this involving a computer than I do an actual phone. I mean, look at this. I'm recording video and I'm uploading it to the internet. Oh boy. Sorry, was in the other hand and I was covering the microphone. Oh, I wonder how that's going to sound. Okay. The entire time. When I go out to watch the thing, I'll rewatch this shortly after this, but if there is a lot of noise, I'll tell people to turn it down. If it's really bad, I might just re-record this whole thing, or make a second video and just sort of together. I don't know how to do that very well. Anyways, so I'll chit-chat with you all later.